All right, so normally the game is playing when I do the introductions, but considering the circumstances, again, I am going to tell you that this is a 2TC start. Now, for those that might see this later, we actually just concluded a game that was a 2TC start at 750 elo. This is 525 elo. I imagine this isn't going to be easy. So it's Toons versus Incas. I'm going to guess that they're going to find the second TC like, I don't know, 2 minutes in? It's pretty crazy that Mega Random has generated this twice in a row for us as we're casting. And yeah, you see what I mean? Blue doesn't know there's another TC over there. Red sees this one. And Red's like, hey, let's just head over to the other base. That looks cool. Yo, I love it. I love it. Okay, so people deal with the second town center thing in different ways. But I have never seen someone just send the villagers at one TC over to the other town. They all want to work together. I guess it makes sense. Kind of, sort of. And honestly, guys, there's a chance. There is a chance that Red never looks back over here. Crazy Psychedelic is like, I am not doing this. I am going to make this a 1 TC start. I will save that for later. Red isn't even collecting the sheep. Red isn't going to move the eagle. Red's like, no, I refuse. Okay, never mind. It's going to get the sheep. Meanwhile, Blue, I mean, again, this is not easy, but Blue is actually producing slightly out of both. Blue having the scout, of course. You've got double scouts. It forgot to make houses. Just a bunch of crazy stuff you got to do here. But Blue has done a pretty good job. Now, people always ask me for tips on this. I'm going to say don't try and do what Red's doing. If you want to entertain us, then you can do what Red's doing. But I would not really suggest this because it's not very efficient. Ideally, you want to produce out of both TCs to get as many villagers as possible. But here's my general tip because this is a struggle. So you can break up the TCs so it's easier for your mind. And you can do a wood TC and you can do a food TC, right? So for the start, like right now, Blue's sending everything to food, which is a good balance. What you can do is you can send like villager to make a lumber camp, set the gather point to wood, just send all the vills to wood there, and then everything to food here, instead of trying to do a balance of wood and food at both sides. Does that make sense? That's not a perfect system, but that is the system I would suggest. And this is just hilarious to me. Oh, Red is actually making stuff over here. Okay, Red is actually making stuff over here. Now, I seem to remember casting Crazy Psychedelic before. There was also another Inca-only player named Passive Atheist, but this is someone else. And I don't know if this guy ever made the series, but is a player that I've seen before, and I'm excited to see what Crazy Psychedelic can do. Has all the sheep underneath this TC right now, and is behind in villagers, but it's actually not too bad. Red is taking my advice to heart and is going to chop every single straggler tree. So when I said wood TC and food town center, I didn't really mean it in this way, but I guess because of all the houses and all the buildings, Red actually needs to do that because Red can't afford a lumber camp right now. You will oftentimes see players make mistakes here and lose villagers to boars because they're so focused. Blue does not do that. Well done. And I think Blue has gone auto scout with both the scouts. Yeah, Blue said we start with scouts. I'm just going to click auto scout because this is already too darn hard for me. So I'm just going to make sure the scout's scouting without me having to pay attention to it, which I think is pretty reasonable. And for their elo, I am actually shocked at how clean this has looked. This is actually really decent for both players. 550? I think Red is 515, and I think 4 is 550, and I average it to 525. So, yeah, like, this is good. Now, double scout and double eagle could mean you can really kill villagers. And Blue is going to make militia now. Okay, so listen. I think that everything that Blue has done here looked fine up until the 5 militia. That is a lot of militia. Just go feudal age, my friend. Just go feudal age. I'll explain it again, but one of the better strategies you can do in this map is just try and wall up a little bit and go up to castle age. Because the resources come in so fast that seems to be one of the best things for you. Now, it takes time for players to realize there's 2 TCs because they're not expecting it. The other thing that separates players with these types of settings is after they advance to the next stage, are they creating villas out of the other town center? Like red right now, ideally, would go up to feudal in this TC because red doesn't even look here anyways. And then you can keep producing from this one. See what I mean? Red actually couldn't do it because you need 2 Dark Age buildings, and red is going to make the lumber camp as one of them. Now, I'm going to take YouTube's requests real quick, and anything that's under like 600 elo, we are taking the small trees off. See, this lumber camp looks a lot more efficient when the trees are large. And I don't know what red's plan is, but I actually think this is hilarious, and red's going to make a forward barracks? Okay, so red is located both the enemy towns and is going to try and isolate one. And I assume that blue, who just got pop capped again, it's very hard to remember to make houses as fast as you need them for this type of a game. But yeah, I guess blue is just going to protect. Holy militia! Blue is making so many militia. 7 militia pretty soon. You will eventually need to start farming. Here we've got some awkwardness for blue. You can really tell which town center they pay more attention to. It's not easy to play what they're playing here. And blue, did blue see that? Did blue's auto scout find that? Oh man, blue is lucky. Wow. Okay, so auto scout OP, and auto scout's going to discover this. I don't know if blue will actually notice this. But if blue noticed that, blue could attack there, and red's like, this is a great idea. I'm going to do this. Now, for red, it actually makes more sense because you're about to hit feudal age, so you want to make militia and then go for men-at-arms. But not today. Not today. And for red, you know, the units were just set here to blue. Okay, thank you. For red, the units were just set here, and red's going to look back here later. I get blue. Hello? Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to finish my sentence. But anyways, you know, red is just not prepared to deal with this amount of army. Now, something that blue continues to do is right-click the barracks. This is a noob thing. It happens all the time in Low Elo Legends. Don't do this. Blue. Blue. Don't lose your army. Thank you. Okay, so you're like, okay, T90, well, he wants to take out the barracks. What should he do? What he should do is, see his units here on attack stance. They will automatically attack the building if there's no units. If a unit shows up, they will automatically prioritize that unit. Does that make sense? Now, red is really stressed because this is the northern position. This is the TC that matters. Down here, who cares? These are the forgotten people, okay? But we do have another forward little base here for red. And red doesn't want to lose this one. Blue, by the way, still in Dark Age. 36 villagers, though. And has a pretty good economy. Has transitioned into farms, whereas red has, like, not. Yeah, red is not about that. And the tower is going to go down as well. So I don't really like the tower thing if you don't have military support. But who knows? Maybe blue will just not see it. Or maybe blue will run away from it. I think... is this supposed to be aforementioned? Is that supposed to be what this says? But it's like a 4, so it's like 44 mentioned. Anyways, I think blue might run away. Yeah, blue sees it and doesn't really know what to do about that. Now, that tower is considered a useless tower at higher elos because it can just be rushed down with no support. But guess what? That thing fires arrows, and blue freaked out with that. He's like, what? Okay, how's the straggler tree TC? This TC's fine. It's been forgotten. Again, cut these guys some slack. This is double TC at 525 elo. This is not easy. Wood upgrade, farm upgrade. Okay. Like to see that. But man, am I loving the cheap Teuton farms. Like, would you rather have 17 farms with no farm upgrade or 8 farms that have the farm upgrade. I prefer to have the 17. And then you can get those upgrades later on. Now, blue could just pull 1 villager and make a bunch of houses. It would be really helpful. A bonus that has helped red here is that Incas actually get more pop space in their houses. Also, the reason red doesn't get pop capped is because red doesn't create as much stuff. And red is like, that barracks position was perfect. The tower now protects it. So this is our forward base. Barracks, archer range, blacksmith. What does blue do? Blue is going to get man-at-arms in the next stage. Also going to get blacksmith. So if blue gets upgrades and rushes that, it's an easy clear, but I don't know if blue knows that. It should be an easy clear. But I think blue is worried and it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to go that way. What this is doing is keeping blue stuck. Not really stuck. Obviously, there's an avenue for blue to go to the enemy's base, but that's not what blue thinks about now. Blue is thinking defense, 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 which is a good thing for red. Okay, this base, nothing has really happened. Let's look at the APM. Let's see how fast these players are. And wow, okay. Double the eco speed here for blue. Makes sense. With all the farming, I think. That's definitely a lot more actions. Stables over here. All right. Yeah, I mean, and red is farming a little bit over here now. It's credit to red. Okay. So when red goes to the eco, there's no production with the military. That's the balance we've struck here. Whereas for blue, we're definitely seeing the 50 elo difference, I think. I mean, there's more farms. There's also more army production. I don't know if we'll see scouts or anything, but man, blue is playing this one really, really well. Where did the man-at-arms go? Oh my... They're in the TC. Okay. I couldn't find them. I mean, that's a strat, I guess. It's like red shows up and sees 2 men-at-arms. He's like, we can counter that. And suddenly, surprise! Guess some of them might be weak as well, so they'll actually heal up in that town center. Right. Red. Clearly paying attention to the economy right now. Not really interested in attacking. Those buildings are there for later. But thank you, Neil, and thank you, Nathan, by the way. Thank you, guys, for the subs. But, what's the plan here? Got the eagle standing in the middle of the map? Oh, my God, guys. Okay, this is a stretch. But if you look at where the 2 eagles on the mini-map and the gold... There's something about this middle area that kind of reminds me of an owl's face. Am I crazy? No, don't answer that. I know I'm crazy. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, it's a bit of a stretch. Okay, blue, get out of here. You're ruining the image. But just the way the eyes look with the little nose. Yeah, you could also say boobs, but you can see where my mind's at. I'm all about the owls. Yes or no? Do you see it? No? Okay. I fear for red. I feel like Crazy Psychedelic is going to have some problems here. Is catching up with eco, though. So there is a world where blue... Red's actually taking the eco lead. But there is a world where if blue doesn't attack, could be some big problems in the long run with red's economy. It feels like what we're going to see is a castle or 2, maybe. I mean, there's certainly the potential for that. Supplies is what we're going to see. Supplies makes the food cost on man-at-arms cheaper. Feels like an awkward time to get that when you've already created 12. But it is low elo after all. They either get it when it doesn't matter, or they get it when, well, yeah, I mean, when it doesn't matter. It seems to be the case, or they get it just because. Longsword could come in here. You could be talking attack, armor. Upgrade these bad boys and make a push. But still, the tower's not something that low elo players like. Make T90 feel better? They look more like man boobs. Yes, that makes me feel better. Thank you. 2.5 minutes away from Castle Age is Crazy Psychedelic, who also could justify building castles in the next stage. I don't like how Crazy Psychedelic is close to the pop limit and is making so many houses forward. This is like, the majority of Red's houses are actually around here. Blue has made it to Castle Age and has done absolutely nothing with it so far, except for click that attack upgrade, and there we have it. And Blue sees his barracks and is like, man, I hate barracks. But also sees the tower, and yes, there you go. This is what Blue could have done earlier. You're definitely going to be able to mop up these buildings now, and this is where the problem set in for Red. Arson coming in for Blue as well, so you have the attack upgrade, and then Arson means they do more damage against buildings. So all the houses are going to go down. Which brings into question, if you didn't have support here, what was the plan? Now, there is something I should bring up here, okay? So, neither player has looms. So, when villagers are attacked, they're going to die really, really fast. And low elo players are rather tunnel visioned. So, this is an area where Blue is watching, and Blue's like, I am a god, and is enjoying destroying the enemy's village. Meanwhile, over here, Blue's not reacting, but why would Blue need to react? Because Red is attacking the mining camp. Like, ha, I will not allow my enemy to mine resources. And if we deny the resources, they will be forever at our mercy. Okay, Red is now pop capped, which we all expected from the house situation. Is dropping a castle here. Blue isn't doing anything about this. But this is not... It's so sad because villagers could be dying here or here. Let's see if farmers die to man-at-arms. Nope, nope. Reaction from Blue. Well played, Blue. And I think Red's now looking over here. Very well played, Blue. Red does actually micro that. You could say it's a bit unfortunate for Red because Red didn't find the wood line. But I think Red also didn't really look around much. 64 villagers for 62, though. And Red's getting as many blacksmith upgrades in before the blacksmith goes down. And now a castle's up. And look at the resources for the Crazy Psychedelic. This is a crazy eco. It's going to make more houses. And it's going to take out houses over here. So you're making houses. You're taking out houses. This is the revenge tour. And now we're getting long swords. Red's like, ha! How do you like it? Or maybe Red's like, wow, when I lost my houses, that really set me back. Let me take out their houses. Meanwhile, Blue has lost a lot of the army to the castle fire. And is still clicking, you can tell. Like, still focuses and clicks. Instead of just letting the units on attack stands do their thing. Here, this will be a clear up. Well played to Blue. And it's 71 population versus 80. Feels like anyone's game. And Blue's units, oh boy. Oh boy. They're getting hit by Kameyuks. They must be on stand ground, which is a common thing to do so they don't accidentally run into things like Castle Fire when you're not paying attention. But since Kameyuk have one range, they poked those bad boys before they even knew what it was. And Kameyuk's not a bad unit. Not a bad unit and not bad upgrades for Red, who says, you know what? I need 2 buildings to go up to the Imperial Age. I need a monastery. I know that. I need a university. Could also go Siege Workshop. You also could do it anyways, Red, because the castle counts as 2. And there you go. Yeah, Red actually clicks up to Imp. Dang, man. This is looking pretty close here. Now, my concern for Red is, will Red make another blacksmith? Because Red lost the blacksmith, and while Red does have a tendency to rebuild things after they get taken out, like the barracks, I just don't know if Red's going to think upgrades for the Kameyuks, and that would be huge. Now, Kameyuks aren't the best against the champion line, but they are good against longswords. I mean, honestly, if you get elite Kameyuk, you can still kill champions. So, and the unique thing about Incas is you can also make slingers. I just don't think Red is really going to know that. But then again, this player exclusively plays Incas. So if any 500 elo player would know, it would be this 500 elo player. 28 farms versus 27 right now. Very close in that department. And blue doesn't really... Okay, no, I take it back. Blue can actually see this. Red wants to raid with longswords here, and blue knows that, and is going to make knights and scouts. I love low elo for this, guys. I love the... Ooh, what's in this building? Click, 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 and you just click a little bit of everything. I love that. It's adorable to me. Red aiming to get a relic there. I like that, too. Here comes the attack from Red. Did kill a villager this time. Has tasked the Scorpion to take out the house. It's ruining the quality of their water at this home. The well is going to be filled with dust from the Scorpion shots. We have Andean Sling, which means no minimum range on slingers and skirmishers, which is unique to the Incas. And we do actually have slingers. Oh, no way. But we've got a castle for blue to protect that area. And here comes blue. And blue is going to clear this up. What a game. What a great game. This is not going to be an area that red can really push from any longer. And red is going to lose this entire area. If blue continues forward, that is. Also, there's a chance that if red pushes forward here, that red will run into the castle. But red is actually making trebs. Does red know about the castle? No, I think red's going to treb down the town center. That'd be my guess. This monk is also like, you didn't see nothing. And blue sees it too. Okay, they're kind of looking over here now. I should also point out that red is not mining any more stone. Red pulled stone miners to make this castle and then never sent any villagers back to stone. This is going to be a sad day for the monk if the TC getting trebbed down means the military pops out on this side. Okay. Here we go. Someone says blue is anti-armor upgrade. I have a theory. Teutons get armor already, so armor upgrade's worthless. True, though. Yeah, Teutons do get melee armor for free for knights and infantry, which would maybe explain why we don't have any armor. But also, I always got attack first. Attack is more fun. Like, you make things, you make army to kill stuff, right? So you're like, why would I want armor so they can kill me less? Ugh. It's just not as exciting. Now, what is exciting is Teutonic Knights, and what is also exciting is the stars from Cheese Toast. Thank you. And your Madcap on Twitch. Hey, glad to hear you've been lurking around. Thank you. I'll get to that in just a second. I'm just really... I need to know if red sees this castle, and red doesn't see the castle! Sorry, I made weird noises there. Can we talk about blue's army, by the way? It's like 10 pikes, 10 skirms, 9 longswords. Probably lost one. 8, 8. And then it's about to be 10 knights. Like 10, 10, 10, 10 is what this is looking like. Yeah, and then red only has armor on infantry, and that's it. Red also lacking upgrades. But yeah, I think blue is going to be forced to engage here. Oh, God. Oh, God. No, I think red clicked the TC because red didn't know. Oh, no way. Red didn't know about the castle, guys. Very unfortunate situation for the crazy psychedelic. And who needs armor upgrades when the trebuchets get sacrificed to you? It looks like red had actually clicked the mill. As we all know that trebbing down mills is one of the best things you can do with faster imp. But now at least red knows. Like, mistakes were made, but now you need to learn, right? Now you know the castle's there. And that took a lot of hits to kill that Teutonic Knight. Holy. Anyways, let me read this message. He says, hey, T90 was Madcap in Twitch community. Been chilling in the background since your move. Just want to say I effing love you, and you're the reason why I love a 20-year-old game. Keep up the soul-satisfying work. Ooh, soul-satisfying. Soul-satisfying. Let's go. I'm satisfying souls. I'll take it. Hey, thanks. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for coming over. Thanks for the positivity. And, oh, Teutonic Knights, guys, are very strong here. They've got all that tanky armor we talked about. They have more HP than a Kameyuk. They've got more attack than a Kameyuk. And things were looking so good for red. But I think red just couldn't get it together. And no! No! Oh, God, just quit. Oh, Red, you got to have a little more fight in there, buddy. You could have still done it. You still could have done it. Red's probably like, oh, another game, another throw. I hate this game. I'm going to go watch videos now. Urgh. Like, Red, from Red's perspective, Red just lost 2 important trebuchets and lost an entire army. But also from Red's perspective, you have slingers, which maybe Red doesn't know this, but they're actually good against infantry. And then you could have just made more trebs and pushed the castle. Like, in this position, guys, pretty much regardless, I know it says it depends. If you're an age up over the opponent, or even if you're not an age up over the opponent, if you're both an imp, this is a treb war, okay? This is a protect your treb, send trebs forward treb war. This is not a raid scenario. Unless you feel like you can do both, then you could try that. That's a bit disappointing because I wanted to see this play out. Like, blue could have gone for raids. Maybe the score had something to do with it. I feel like blue would have been the heavy favorite if blue would have been an imp. Because blue's got a ton of army and all that. But, I mean, a lot of this army isn't very useful right now for blue. Like 30, 40 military units just kind of standing around. So, but yeah, Teutonic Knights are hard to counter when you have cameos. That's for sure. But going for archers, going for slingers would be the go-to there. I guess it wouldn't be 525 elo without someone resigning in those types of situations. He's like, no, this has ruined the idea of a perfect game that I had, and I'm going to leave now and play another one. Maybe.